guys, this is Cubyr, and for day 7 of tutorial week, I'll be showing you how to solve edge parity and center rotation on the house cube. So the house cube is a fairly easy puzzle, and it's really just a 3x3 shape mod, but I do have some tips to help you with the house cube. I'm assuming that you already know how to solve a 3x3, and there are also some weird things that can happen on a house cube, such as rotating centers, edge flip parity because of these flat edges, and some other weird stuff as well. The first tip that I have, and this is probably the most important one, is that you should never solve from the bottom up, because once you get to the top, you're not going to be able to tell if the OLL is done or not, and basically that's just because you can't tell if these are facing up or to the side. And then you're going to get weird PLL parities that are hard to fix without just trying all sorts of different combinations. First, let's just scramble the cube. So it's scrambled, and now, remember, let's solve the top of the house first, the roof. So if we insert this piece here, then the center will be rotated, and I will still focus on rotating the center later in case it does end up being rotated, because sometimes on the last layer, if you get a Z perm or an H perm, then that can be kind of tricky in terms of this center will get rotated. So make sure that the center is aligned correctly when you're solving the roof of the house cube. So let's finish up solving the roof. This is fairly simple. I'm not going to spend much time on it. There. Once you've done that, just make sure the centers on the sides are in the correct position, and then solve just using beginner's method. That can be the easiest way, but if you want to use F2L, then that would be fine as well. Okay, so once you're done with that layer, then you might get edge flip parity on the top layer. I actually don't have edge flip parity right now, but I'll set it up so that I do. Here we go. So this is edge flip parity, and if you try to solve when only one edge or 3 edges are on the top, then you're going to get a kind of weird case that you won't be able to solve. And the reason for this is because, well, on a 3x3, if one of the edges is flipped, that means another edge must be flipped, which means that you have to flip one of these edges to fix the problem. So basically, just do M prime, U, M, U prime, M prime, U2, M. That's how I do it, at least. It's a pretty easy process. You can do it pretty much however you want, as long as it ends up in there flipped. So once you're done with that, just solve the rest, and you should be pretty much fine. Which case is this? You know what? I'm going to set it up so that I get a center rotation case. Okay, so now we have an H perm, and this should be pretty simple, and depending on how you do it, maybe you can just do it without getting any center rotation, but I'll just do it normally. Since this involves M moves, I did get center rotation. So this is the first case of center rotation, and what you're going to do when it's just completely flipped, you could just take the center cap out and reinsert it normally, I know, but instead I'm going to be teaching you some easy algorithms that can help flip the center back. So for this, what I do is I just do T-perm twice, and then it gets flipped to the correct position. So if you don't know T-perm, here's what it is. R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, F prime. That might look kind of weird, but then just hold it in the same place. Don't move it or anything, and then just do the algorithm again. And then it should be completely solved. So this is the second case. This is where the center has to be flipped clockwise. And also, these center rotation tips can be useful for other cubes too, such as the ghost cube and other shape mods where center rotation matters. So what I do with this is I do UA perm 3 times. And the reason I do it 3 times is because U perms have to be cycled 3 times instead of 2 until they're back to their original position. And since it's 3 and not an even number of algorithms to get it back to the original position, that means that the center will just be rotated once instead of flipped 180 degrees like it was with T-perm. So here's what UA perm is, and just do this 3 times to flip it clockwise. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. Then just do that again. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. And then just do it one more time. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. And after that, it should be rotated clockwise. So this is the final case. This is just where it needs to be rotated counterclockwise. And again, you're just going to do UB perm for pretty much the same reasons that I stated in the last one. And the algorithm goes like this. R prime, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R, U, R2. And then just do that 2 more times. And then the house cube should be solved. So that just about wraps up the house cube, and that wraps up all of tutorial week, actually. So I hope you liked all of the different cubes that I used during tutorial week. And this was for 100 subscribers. Now I have over 100 subscribers, which is awesome. So thank you so much for that. And if you haven't subscribed, be sure to, so then you can get all the newest updates from my channel and know about all my new videos before other people do. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.